without further ado, I want to introduce the singer-songwriter from Brazil who we all know and love. She now lives in Los Angeles, Giulia Be. You look so good. Doesn't she look stunning? I know, I saw the dress and I was like, oh my gosh.
Hi
Amazing.
everyone, I'm so excited. Thank you so much to everyone who made the effort to sit in traffic and come here. I really appreciate it. I am beyond excited to be here, and let's get this conversation rolling.
We have a lot of exciting things to cover, but I was thinking just to start off, in case anybody is new here and in case anybody is new to your music and to your story, we can start by talking about kind of your introduction to music. What led you here and what made you want to pursue it?
Oh my God, guys. So when I was 6 years old, I watched Hannah Montana for the first time. And that was the beginning of all of it for me. I was so enthralled by the fact that this girl could live a double life and go to school and then come home and just, live a normal life and then go on stage and be a pop star. And I really, really manifested that for myself. I started with classical training when I was 6 years old, Beethoven, Bach, the whole shebang. And then when my Russian piano teacher introduced me to Elton John and Eric Clapton, I was like, okay, I never want to hear about Mozart ever again. Chords are where it's at. And I just fell in love with writing music too. I wrote my first song when I was 8, and I had no idea that, this was actually going to pan out to a career until much, much later in my life when I was 17. And I was going to be a lawyer, ready to go to law school, did, the whole things. My parents were thrilled. And then I was like, but what if I open a YouTube channel? And they were not as thrilled, that's for sure. But nowadays, they're my hugest supporter. I have an amazing momager who couldn't be here tonight. But, and yeah, that's a little bit of how we got here.
No, that's amazing. And, I know I was also very influenced by Hannah Montana. I think she did a
Who
big
was
one
it?
on us.
Come on, let's
Yes.
be real.
Did you ever consider the wig, doing the double life thing?
Not with this hair, honey.
Oh, I agree. What am I thinking? Okay, so earlier you said that you wrote your first song when you were 8 years old. Do you remember what that was?
It was a song called Superhero, and I'll sing a little bit of it to you guys. If love was a number, it would have lots of zeros. So just for tonight, I'll let you be my superhero.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, staying on the Hannah Montana Disney subject really fast, I saw that you met the Jonas Brothers pretty recently.
I did.
So that must have been a pretty big deal for you, right?
It really was.
Okay.
I was more of like a Miley fan when her and Nick broke up. I was like, I'm here for Miley. Like, I support you fully, girl. But yeah, it was really nice. They were really nice. I was actually matching accidentally with Joe Jonas. We had the same jacket, and that says a lot about his style. And yeah, it was fun. They're shorter than I imagined, but they're good people. Good people.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Well, I can just imagine that must have been such a big deal just because Disney.
I actually met Miley too at one point.
Oh
I
my
didn't get
gosh.
any pictures because I was too afraid to ask, but she was like the best. As everything that I imagined. They say don't meet your heroes, but in this case, I was very glad to have met my hero.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And so full circle too, with her 20th anniversary, your self-titled album coming out. Very emotional.
Yes.
And you grew up in Brazil. And so I was hoping we can talk a little bit about how that influenced your music.
Well, we have amazing music down there. If you haven't, gone to your Spotify and put a Brazilian playlist at one point, you should. It's really great stuff. And I grew up with my parents' playlist, which is an incredible playlist ranging from Barry Manilow and Barry White to, Alejandro Sanz and Caetano Veloso. So it was really a school of music growing up listening to their selections, and I'm very grateful that they introduced me very young to incredible music and incredible artists. And I think Brazilian music, you know, we're not afraid of being very poetic and going really deep into the metaphors, and I think that that spirit kind of was held in me from a really young age and inspired me to start songwriting in all these languages.
Yes. And I'm definitely going to go there asking about those three different languages. But I want to start from the beginning with this album. Tell me where you were when you started writing this album, when it was, and what was going through your brain at the time.
So it's interesting because this project is a project the reason I called it my own name, self-titled. I think artists do that when they really believe that something represents them a lot, and this is the first time that I'm actually able to put out music in English and put out music in Spanish. I focused a lot on my Portuguese music for a long time in my life, and this was the first moment where I could really have not have to pick which Giulia I'm going to show up as today, because anyone that speaks more than one language, they know that you can't exactly be the same person in that other language. You're just a little bit different, and that's what originated this whole idea for the project. How can we show all of these different parts of me in a way that feels like it's still the same girl? And I can't tell you where I was when I started writing it, because there are songs that I wrote in it like 9 years ago. Maybe I was 17, and a lot of stuff was going on that, thank God, is not going on anymore. And some songs I wrote not even a year ago, and it's really a collection of songs that I wrote throughout my life, songs that I believe in, songs that I believed were the right ones to introduce the project to the world, and yeah.
No,
Did that answer your
it
question?
did. It did. I love it. Which is the oldest song on the album?
It's a song that's not out yet, actually. It's called No Problem. And I was 17, I just got cheated on, and it was just me being like, yeah, no problem, because I was riding, and like this taxi driver, saw me like devastatingly crying, and he was like, oh, what happened? And I'm like, I got cheated on, sir. And he's like, no problem. You beautiful girl. You don't have problem. and it just stuck with me for, I was like, yes, you're right. You know what? I don't have a problem. I'll figure this out. And that was the basis of the song. It just became this like sarcastic ode to, oh yeah, no problem. Just simplified my life like that.
I love it. I love it. And, going back to what we were talking about earlier with the three different languages representing three different parts of you, but at the end of the day, they're all you. And so how did you make those connections and those distinctions with the languages on the specific songs?
It's funny, there really is a different personality that comes with every song, but I tend to respect how they come to me sometimes. I really believe that we're all vessels from God, and we're just receiving inspiration at different points in time, and it's really about how fast you can act on the inspiration that you're receiving. And a lot of times that inspiration comes in a certain language, and I tend to, flesh out the song in whatever language that the song came to me in. But then there will be times where I'll write a song in English, and I was like, let's just F around and see what this sounds like in Spanish. And then two of the songs in the project, actually, I originally wrote in English and then translated to Spanish. And I ended up kind of feeling, I guess, the pain a little more. It just felt a little more romantic. It felt a little more intimate in Spanish, and I love them, so I ended up putting them out in Spanish. But you'll guys actually hear the English one too tonight. I'll do a little mashup for the first time.
Oh, yeah. I love that. In what language do you think and feel in?
Depends on where I am in the world, honestly. I moved to LA first because I fell in love with an American that I cannot see here. Oh, yeah, see, he's there somewhere. So I moved for love initially. And when I'm with him and when I'm here in LA, I spend half of my day just speaking English. So a lot of times I'll dream in English when I'm here and I'll be thinking in English constantly. Then when I'm in Brazil, when I'm with my family and with my friends, the thoughts come in Portuguese. And I was just in Madrid for a week last week doing a showcase much like this as well. And I came to my mom who like barely speaks Spanish, guys. I was like, "Mama, cierra la ventana, por favor." And we were just going to sleep, and she was like, "What? Like, what are you saying?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I've just gotten used to the Spanish at this point." And yeah, it depends where in the world I am and how much sleep I've gotten.
And that's on being a trilingual girly. We love that.
It's true.
Okay, well, you know, when you set out to write an album, I feel like it often serves as kind of like a diary entry. In those studio sessions, you learn a lot about yourself because you kind of force yourself to dig deep. And so, thinking back to this process, even though it was over the course of several years, what would you say was the number one slash most beneficial thing that you learned about yourself?
That's a deep question. I'd say the number one thing that I learned about myself is that no matter in what language, I feel like the delusion to believe in my dream is very much still alive. I think in this career you have to be a little delusional. You have to just think that you're gonna get to where you want to get, and no matter how adverse the circumstances around you look like and feel, and how many people even tell you that it's not going to work. Oh, you're Brazilian. No Brazilians ever really released a full project in English. And I think also even people have a certain expectation of what a Brazilian artist is supposed to sound like, and breaking those expectations and really following my intuition was the main takeaway from this whole process of just being around the people that believe in me for me, and being around people that see the potential where some people might not, and that really propel the dream forward.
And on because it's only natural to have seasons of doubt and to also question yourself along the way. That's part of the process.
That's where the delusion comes in.
No, this is good. When you do have those moments, what do you turn to?
I have a very good relationship with God. I grew up Catholic, but I believe that religion was just a way that humans found to explain this beautiful, incredible energy that comes to us. And for me, I'm Catholic, but then I have a Buddha statue in my garden, and all these different things that doesn't matter how I talk to him. I just talk to this higher force, and I'm always manifesting, and I manifested for sure my Grammy nominations. I remember when I was like 18 and I had 3 followers. It was my mom, my grandma, and me from a fake account. And I wrote a list of like things that I want, and I remember writing down like I want to be nominated for a Grammy as Best New Artist. And when it came around and that happened at the Latin Grammys, it was just like, oh my God, I'm a witch. Like, like truly, like whatever I say is eventually going to come true in God's timing. And so I would say just having faith.
Would you say that Grammys nomination was like the number one scariest moment where you were like, oh, I'm powerful? Or have you had others?
That was pretty big, I have to say. But like sometimes it's like stupid things, where you're just like, no, like I'm not worried we're gonna get there on time, and Waze is telling me that I'm definitely not gonna get there on time, and I'm like, no, I have a good feeling about this, and it ends up that my feeling was right. So sometimes it's wrong, I have to say. Sometimes you get there very late, but
I love it. We keep believing.
We keep believing. It's all about believing. Oh, there's gonna be a parking spot right here. That's a new manifestation for me. In LA, you have to drive everywhere.
Yes.
But yeah.
I do that too. Yeah, no, you have to in this economy. Anyway, okay, going back to the album really fast. Did you have a writing experience that was particularly moving or emotional throughout this process?
I did. I had a moment where I wrote with Justin Parker, and this guy was like my songwriting idol. So he wrote all of the first Lana songs with her, so National Anthem, Video Games. He wrote Stay by Rihanna, like so many incredible anthems that had just been on my playlist for as long as I can remember. And when you're writing with something like that, it's scary, you know, because you want to prove to them that you're good enough to be in the room with them and occupy that slice of their time. And it was just such a beautiful experience. We have very different ways of writing, and it was 2 days in the studio. We were in London, and the first day, we started writing like a sadder song, something very moody, and that's, you know, where he's more comfortable, and usually me too. But I have this thing where if a song isn't coming out, like if it's taking me more than 20 minutes to get the lyric out of me, I always think I was like, okay, this is not meant to be. Like, let's just write something else. Like, let's scratch that idea and start something fresh that feels like it's coming out easily. And he's not like that. Like, he's very much like, no, there's something here. Let's not table it. Let's keep going. And I was like, oh my God, this is so painful. Like I'm having to, you know, bring a song out of nothing that like nothing is coming, nothing is downloading. And then we finished the song in a day and a half, which was also hard for me because getting to the studio the next day and having to work on the same song that you were working on the day before, it's like, bro, come on. Like, she's already told us she doesn't want to come out. And no, and then we finished the song, and I was like, okay, we have 2 more hours in the studio. Do you want to bang out another one? And he was like, not confident at all. And I was like, no, trust me, there's something here. And I had this idea, and the song ended up being Girls Just Wanna, which is on the project. And I'm particularly proud of that song. It's really nice to be able to collaborate with people that you've admired for so long, and it feels like a dream come true.
I love that. And it is crazy when sometimes when things are unexpected, right? And so I'm actually curious, like, were there any moments while you were in the studio where you were moved to tears, maybe, because of how vulnerable you were being?
Yeah, honestly, there's a song in the project called Bandera Blanca, and one song called Closure. And for those two songs, I was going through like a friendship breakup, which honestly hurts a lot more than like a real breakup, and people don't talk enough about it. And it was really hard for me to accept that, you know, that she had betrayed me somehow, and it was really hard to sing about it and accept it and put the pen on the paper to write out everything that I had to write out for both of those songs. And so eventually I was crying on the mic, that's for sure. But it's good. I like keeping it, the little inflections when the voice feels a little broken. I feel like in this ultra processed world nowadays, it's nice to listen to music and listen to an artist and hear the emotion in it. That's what I search for when I'm searching for new music. So yeah, it was a good cry, a necessary one, if you will.
Were you scared at all to release this song? And do you think that she'll know that this song is about
I
a
hope she
breakup?
knows.
Okay.
'Cause I'm not gonna talk to her again. That is my last words for you. And yeah, I hope she's heard it.
Okay, T. Um, okay, you have one collaboration on this album on Boom. And
Ooh,
yes. And so why did you decide to do only one, and why did this feel like the right fit?
So we were gonna do no collaborations, like up until the last moment of us closing all the songs. And I've had this song with Mikro since 2021, and he's just my brother, just like such a wonderful person. When we met, we were just talking about our music, and I was telling him about the music that I was making. This was 2021, and I have a song in Portuguese called Eu Me Amo Mais, which means I love myself more. And it's about, when you're in a breakup and you have to make the decision of leaving, not because you don't love the other person, but because you love yourself more. And then he had a song called Amate, which means love yourself. And we were just like, oh my God, we both have inspiring songs about loving yourself. And that was where we met. And we ended up deciding to write a song that felt like a love song, that read like a love song, but it was actually about the experience of falling in love with yourself, and when you find yourself, how everything changes, how the birds start singing, and when you're in a good stride. And it was just like such a special song, and I felt like if I didn't release it now, it would just get lost in the files in my phone that are never coming out. And it's just like I didn't want that song in that graveyard. There's just too many bangers over there. This one needed to make it out of the files app.
No, that's so good. And I do feel like throughout the album there is so many different representations of love, right? Loving other people, breakups, everything. But when it comes to loving yourself, when do you feel most yourself? When do you love yourself most?
It's a great question. Um, Random answer, but it's what came to my head, guys. I feel like after I shower, when I'm like putting body cream on, I'm like, yeah, like I'm taking care of this little piece of meat, that God gave to me. Like it just feels like I'm really like doing good.
Do you have a long post shower routine?
Yeah, when I can, I
Okay.
do. I like putting the cream and then like the different scents, and it just makes me feel like a girl, and I love it.
I love it. I love it. Well, thinking about the album overall, obviously, all these songs are so personal to you and your experiences. But once you release it, these are subjects that everybody is going to be able to relate to, and then it's no longer just yours. And so,
Yeah.
what do you
I always
hope?
say that actually. I
Oh.
always say that when I write a song, it's my song until the moment it comes out, then it's our song.
Is there anything that you hope that people can take away from this album?
I hope that they can, first of all, spark up the interest to learn a new language if they, don't know all the languages that I'm singing in. I actually, there's a fan of mine that's here tonight, and we've been talking for so long, and she just told me, she's like, I actually started taking Portuguese classes because of you and your music, and I wanted to understand. And I'm like, that is the highest compliment. And other than that, I would just say, I only sing because I write. Like every single word that you'll hear tonight and every single word that you'll hear in this project is a story of mine, or a story that I borrowed from a friend that was opening up to me, or a story that I made up in my mind, but it's my choice of words. And I think that that's what, at least to me, what I also look for in other artists. It's like when you know that it's this, what you're hearing is not the product of 8 people in a room, and actually the story of this person and what they lived and what they went through. It just hits different. So I hope that they can take away my vulnerability and feel seen.
Yes, and it's definitely felt on the album. And like I said earlier, in so many different ways. And just because I'm a sucker for love, I have to ask, and this is even better because he's here. Um, in what ways did Connor inspire your songwriting on this album?
Ooh. Oh my God, so many. I think not just because he like believes my delusions with me. Like I will come to him with the craziest idea, and I'll be like, my love, I'm telling you, this is the one. And he'll be like, you can do whatever you put your mind to, and he knows that, and he supports me, through all the craziness of things. And he also is a good sounding board. Like he'll tell me when a song is not good enough, and a song like really needs to be elevated and the production needs to change. Like he's really knowledgeable about, you know, just music, even though he's not a musician. And it's nice to get his feedback and have like someone that's like, go forth into your dreams. Like that's the best part of it.
What's the lyric? After all, the coolest thing you can be in life is a
Is
fool
a
for
fool for love.
Yeah.
Yes, it's true. The coolest thing that you can be in life is a fool for love. He also inspired like a few songs too, you know. There's a song called Perder el vuelo, which I also will sing in English tonight. Miss This Flight, which is the original version of it. And Connor and I did long distance for 2.5 years, and you know, you go to the airport and you don't want to miss the flight and you think you will. But in my case, I was like, okay, I'm going to do everything really slow just so that I can have the chance to miss the flight. And, you know, and I'm like, to the Uber driver, I'm like, no, take your time. Don't worry. We got all day. You know, like not in a rush at all, just because missing the flight would mean staying with him for one more day. And yeah, that happened a couple times.
And what a beautiful journey, because you even said it yourself, like you have a song on this album from years ago about being heartbroken, and now we're here. And so what would you say to, let's say, a girl who's like really going through it right now because of her love life?
Girl, you're in character development. Like this is the part where stuff gets interesting, you know? This is the part where you're going through it. Like every time we watch a movie, like if the main character isn't like going through it at one point, we turn it off because we want to see it, you know, character development. So if whoever's going through something, it's a part of the journey. Like the taxi driver said, no problem. You're a beautiful girl. You'll find other boy.
I love that. That man has no idea what kind of impact he had on your life.
He does not. He lives like in a small island in Greece and has no freaking idea of anything.
Maybe one day you'll see him again.
Maybe.
You can tell him.
I mean, I don't remember his face that well, and his name was Dimitros, and I'm sure there's like 1,000 million Dimitros in Greece, so it'll just be a memory.
Right. Try searching that one on Facebook. Yeah. Okay. Well, I quoted one of your songs earlier, but I was actually curious. Do you have a favorite lyric from this album?
I do. And it's actually my dad's favorite lyric, which is really funny when you hear it. It's from my song called 911, which is coming out on July 23rd. And I'll play it for you guys tonight. It's one of the first songs that I wrote for the English portion of the project, and I wrote it 3 a.m. in my room when I had this idea, what if I write a song where I'm calling this operator and telling him to pick me up in the ambulance because my heart is broken. And the lyric goes, somebody send an ambulance to take me out to dance. I feel so fucking lonely, I could kiss all of his friends. Which is funny to be my dad's favorite lyric.
He was probably like, yeah.
He's like, Giulia, you're a genius. I'm like, okay, Dad, I'll take it.
He just wants to see you thrive. That's why.
Yeah. Cheeky man.
I love that. That's a good one. Well, you know, just thinking that we are only a few weeks away from this album release, where do we go from here? Like, what do you want to come from this era?
Oh my God. Fans in America. Yeah. I mean, obviously that, and just having people listen to my music is the biggest gift. Having people connect to lyrics, that's why I do it. Having people come up to me that are completely different and from different backgrounds say, oh my God, you wrote this song about me. And it's sometimes it's like an 18-year-old gay kid and a 40-year-old mom, and they would never think that they have that much in common, but they both think that I wrote that song about them. So it means that they went through the same thing at the same time. And I don't know, I just love those moments where people come up to you and are genuinely relate to your music. And so I hope that comes from this ultimately, because you know, through all the glitz, the glam, and the Grammys, this is what really stays with an artist is how people connect with their music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, it's been 7 years since you released your debut single,
Yeah.
Too Bad. If you could go back and talk to that girl that was putting music out for the first time and just thinking about who you are now, what would you say, and what would you say is like the biggest difference?
I remember like very, very vividly when I was shooting the music video for Too Bad, and the people at the label came up to me and they're like, okay, now you're going to have to do one-liners. And I was mortified to have to be like, hi, I'm Giulia Be, this is my song, please listen to it. So I would just tell her that that definitely gets easier with time. And keep believing in your delusions. Like one day you're going to be at the Grammy Museum performing in Los Angeles to all these amazing people, and it's all going to work out, little one.
It always does. That's why we're here. I love it. Okay, and we are gonna do a few. We're gonna take a few fan questions, but I have a few rapid fire questions for you.
Let's do
and it doesn't. If you have a longer answer, go ahead. But dream collaboration.
Dream collaboration. Oh my God, Lana Del Rey.
Amazing. Yes.
That gets a clap. I agree.
Okay. Which song on the album feels the most Giulia Be?
I'd say probably 911, actually. That's probably my favorite song in the whole project out of the three ones. It's hard. Like, I feel like it changes every day, but that song's probably one of my favorites.
Yeah, I love it. What is your studio / songwriting starter pack? What do you need with you?
Oh my God. Doritos. My notebook, a pen, my phone, preferably charged, and if not, a charger. And that's pretty much it. And Oreos for the end.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, I'm a big snacker when I'm in the studio.
No, this is good. It's good for ideas. If you had a bad songwriting day, what makes you feel better?
If I had a bad songwriting day, what makes me feel better? Oh, not much, to be honest. I guess just going to sleep and trying again tomorrow.
What is the fastest song you've ever written?
Fastest song I've ever written? It's actually my most famous song, Menina Solta. I wrote it in 15 minutes.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's crazy when that happens.
Yeah. Were you alone?
I was not alone. I was by the pool and I was going through it. This is a theme. And I was like, guys, I cannot take writing about my love life anymore. Like, please, someone tell me what they're doing. And this girl, thank God, bless her, she was like, oh yeah, so I'm talking to this guy and I'm also talking to this guy. And I was like, okay, girl, let's do it. And I was like happy for her. And so I was like, okay, finally I'm writing a happy song. And it was literally like a storytelling song. So the song starts, it's like, she was from Baja, he was from Ipanema. And it was literally the story of her and the guy, and it just became the song. And I was like, okay, so what does he look like? And trying to write down information for the song, and yeah, I just banged it out in 15 minutes.
Sometimes those are the best.
I mean, in this case, for sure.
Yeah. Okay, if you weren't a singer, what would you do or be?
Ooh, probably a lawyer. Yeah, I married one, so I'm fine. But I was gonna be a lawyer. I was ready to go to the UN, and that was my dream. I was like a big Model UN kid in high school, and yeah. Woo, yay! I love that Model UN gets a shout out. I just wanted to represent Brazil outside of Brazil somehow, and I get to do it still through this job, so it's really nice. But probably be a lawyer.
Yeah. Smart girl. We love it. And my last one, what was the first thing you did to celebrate when the album was finished?
First thing I did to celebrate when the album was... It was never really finished. That's the thing. You think it's finished, and then someone calls you in 2 days, and they're like, but we need this. And I'm like, okay, back to the studio. And I don't remember when it was finished. It was just so... I still feel like it's not finished, until it's actually out, I don't remember that, actually.
Maybe we celebrate tonight.
Yeah,
maybe
this is when the album is finishing, guys.
Yeah.
It's today.
I love it. Well, those are all of the rapid questions that I had for you. But actually, before I turn it over, is there anything that you have left to share or that you think is important for the audience to know about your story or your journey and what led you to releasing your debut album? I mean, not your debut album, your self-titled album, which is so exciting.
Guys, first of all, thank you again for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sitting through all this. I'm just beyond grateful. As a Brazilian artist, I remember in the beginning of my career, the president of the record label I was signed to at the time, he told me, Giulia, get ready because you're going to be swimming against the current, because everything that I was doing musically was so different than what was working in the charts in Brazil at the time. There wasn't really like a singer, songwriter, female figure like you guys have many here in the US. And it was a small world for pop in Brazil, and to be able to have been, you know, one of the first people to kind of get that music rolling and see everything that's come from that. I've always been so passionate about writing music, and to be able to finally put out music in this scale, to be here in LA with a fancy dress in this fancy venue talking to these fancy people is just beyond, you know, what I could have dreamed. I mean, I did dream it, let's be fair. But for it to be actually happening is so beyond exciting, and I'm really grateful to everyone that's been a part of the journey, my whole team, my band that's coming in soon, Kaylee, Jordan, my manager, and my PR girl. I'm just a lucky girl surrounded by incredible, amazing women. I have a mostly female team, and woo, that gets a clap. And yeah, I'm really excited for what the future holds, and I hope that I can break stereotypes and find a place for me in the industry here.
We're so excited to see everything that's coming, and we're so lucky to be here at the beginning steps, because I'm sure that it's only going to be up from here. So it's so exciting.
From your mouth to God's ears, baby.
It's not just delusion, girl. It's hard work. It's everything. But yes, like I said, I can now turn it over to the audience in case anybody has any questions. And so if you do, go ahead and raise your hand, and I can call on you, and then we can hear from Giulia directly. Yes.
For your first record deal, how many songs did you have on your demo?
Okay. I actually, I was very lucky in a way, because when I first started putting my YouTube videos out, the first one, I sent it to everyone I knew. Like, I put it on Facebook shamelessly. I sent it to my dentist, everyone I knew. I was like, please listen to this cover that I did of this song. And, you know, you never know with these things. And it was kind of a real, it was a different time for YouTube. Like, nowadays, it's really hard to get views now. And at the time, it was a different time. And I had these two covers that were out before the record label found me, and the covers started doing really well, and they started getting lots of views, and people were commenting, and they were just excited. So they caught me early, and then it was a year of writing until I put out my first single. Yeah.
Anyone else?
Aww.
Yes, in the back over there.
Does it ever feel like it's too late to start, or like is it scary now that you're moving into another market? Which
Yeah, I'm starting again, essentially. You know, I really feel like that in so many ways. I'm getting so many of my firsts again. But it's really nice. It's scary sometimes, I'm not going to lie. I think the American dream was definitely oversold. But you know, at the end of the day, it's like when you do what you love, you'll be happy no matter what happens from that. And I'm really grateful to be doing what I love and be surrounded with people. But it is scary. There are moments where it's like, it's not looking good. But I learned from my career in Brazil that all it takes is one. All you need is one song. And once that one song hits, and once you get the projection of that one song, things just start happening, and people start finding your old music, and people start getting excited about your new music. So, yeah, I have my ones in Portuguese. Aw, thank you. Obrigada você.
Anyone else? Ooh, we got someone in the front. Oh,
Hi,
number
baby
1 fan.
girl.
Apart from singing, I know you've had experience acting as well. Very excited for the next movie.
Whoa.
How has that affected or influenced your music, especially the experience of being able to sing in front of people?
You know, it's really funny because I didn't expect to get into acting. Like, I always loved it. I played Juliet in the school play, and that was my starting role before getting into movies. And this first character that I played, she was very musical. You know, for those who haven't watched my movie, I'll give a little rundown. It's this beautiful story about this character, Nina, who I play, and her dream is to be a soloist at the São Paulo Orchestra for piano. And she, at 13 years old, she finds out that she has lupus. So most of her life, it's really fighting back with fighting the disease and kind of keeping this dream alive somehow. And it was my first ever movie, and you didn't hear the instructions. But that is a fire ringtone. So I'll forgive it. Man, I want it.
I was like, wait, what song is that? I swear I've heard that.
No, but it's fire. But anyways, going back to your question, I through this character, I was able to write the main song, the opening song for the movie. And you know, Netflix really they gambled. You know, who knew how good of an actress I was gonna be or not? Like, I could have been a total flop. And I'm glad that they gambled. I'm glad they believed in me. I'm glad they liked the audition. And it was really nice to be able to write a song from a point of view that's not mine. I always create characters in my head anyways. Like, even if it's not for a movie, when I'm writing a song, I'm like, okay, what if I was going through this and this and this, and I write from that point of view. But I definitely learned that, and with the next movie too, it's really written from the point of view of the character and going through things that I haven't gone through and that I can only imagine how they feel. So yeah, I don't know if I answered your question, but I tried.
No, that was very poetic. I loved that. Anybody else in the audience have any questions? Yes.
Woo! Brasil!
It seems like it's a really interesting time to be a multilingual artist in the industry right now. As you can see, like Rosalia and so many artists that are opening up the worlds for multiple languages in a song. How do you feel like the industry is opening up to you?
I know, man. I thought I was doing a lot with 3 languages, and then Rosalia drops a 13-language album. I'm like, okay. But yeah, it is a really exciting time. I feel really lucky. It's also a really exciting time to be particularly Brazilian. And I feel like people are finally recognizing the sauce that we have. I mean, they always kind of knew, but I see so many people, you know, posting about Rio and going to Rio and excited to be in Brazil and all these different places. So it definitely helps that we're in a different moment. I think when I first had the inkling or the desire to do this many years ago, the world wasn't ready for it. So I think that I'm right at the right point to make this happen and to make it a possibility. Like, I've been trying to put out this music, as I said, for 9 years, like so many of these songs, and just people just didn't really believe in a Brazilian artist singing in English or a Brazilian artist singing in other languages, really until like Anita went and proved to everyone that you can do whatever the hell you want. And yeah, and it's a good moment for it to be happening for me. I feel very lucky and excited that, you know, some of my fiance's cousins that don't speak a lick of Spanish are like dancing a Bad Bunny and, you know, having the time of their lives. So it's nice.
What a time to be alive.
Yeah.
A lot of exciting things going on. And I'm seeing a red light now, so that means that we do have to wrap up. But that's also exciting because that means that you get to perform now. Yay!
Yay.
Okay. Giulia, thank you. Sorry, everyone. Thank you so much for taking the time to sit down and to share your knowledge and your story. It is so beautiful, and we're so excited to see what's next. We can take a quick break, and then you'll be back to show everybody your amazing talent.
Thank you guys so much. I'll see you soon.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.